Hello, everyone. Hello. Good day. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
You're all welcome to today's event. It's really exciting. It's a really exciting one to be in your midst again today, to get to interact with each and every one of us, to get to learn from ourselves, to get to encourage ourselves, and yeah, get to more or less um, indulge ourselves to become better. And I'm more or less using this opportunity to just welcome each and every one of us um, into today's program, into today's event. And I really appreciate people that are currently online, people that have joined. I know there are people that is joining us from all over the world because we're actually global. People from the USA, from Nigeria, Lagos, from Abuja, and everywhere across the globe. So you're all welcome into today's event. Um, my name is Emmanuel Oni Emmanuel. Currently the cloud captain for AWS um, Cloud Club Unilag chapter. I would like my colleague as well, who is on the call, to introduce himself as well. Moses, if you are there, please can you
Hi,
introduce
good
yourself?
evening. Good evening, everybody. My name is Moses. I'm the design lead for the AWS Vanilla Cloud Scope. I'm very happy to be here, and I thank you, everyone, for showing up.
All right, thank you very much, Moses. Yeah, so we have a couple of other leadership team as well that are currently be joining us shortly as well. So when they join, they'll get to introduce themselves as well. But it's really nice and amazing to get to meet with each and every one of us that are joining the call currently. I don't know if we are currently. I would like each and every one of us that are currently on the call to more or less just give an highlight of like one of the major things they've kind of like learned from the past events that we had up to this particular event. I mean, just more or less like a shout out or probably like an highlight of a particular thing they've actually learned as regards AWS cloud services. I don't know, we could just quickly just put that on the chat. What's one of the interesting services you've worked with for the past couple of weeks? One of the what is like one of the major things like you've actually like really done, and the interesting thing that you actually done. You could just put that on the chat and we get to take it up from there. Thank you very much. I'll be looking into the chat here to just to see our comments, and yeah, welcome again into the program for today. So a quick one, more or less. So this is a live stream from AWS Cloud Club, and some people might be wondering what is AWS Cloud Club. So more or less, AWS Cloud Club is a community, more or less for students to create that pathway for them to enter into cloud computing and get to like launch their career and their journey towards cloud, more particularly tailored to AWS itself. So it's really a community for students, as well as it accommodates as well as other people that have graduated from school as well. So it's something that I know a lot of people actually like would really like love to be in, and really like really derive a lot from joining the cloud club community. So we're here more or less together to learn from one another, do cool stuff together, build cool stuff together, build amazing products, and yeah, launch our career towards cloud as it may be. So you are welcome once again to today's event, which is more or less advancing your AWS cloud journey. I mean, I think we have the first series, which was about a month now. and that was more or less starting your AWS cloud journey. And it was really an interesting one because we get to like look into specifics. I think we still have like the URL. That's the link to like that particular video or live stream. So you could still go to our YouTube channel to look that video out and get to more or less um, enjoy what we actually discussed around the various things we discussed there. So yes, once again, you're all welcome. So quickly, I'm not still really seeing any comment on the chat as like the interesting thing that any one of us could have worked on in the past 1 month. Probably for me particularly, I've worked with a couple of things. I think one of the things that I worked on was making use of AWS System Manager, which is more or less a particular service on AWS, and that particular service is more or less used to manage a wide range of systems, and it's really like an amazing one. It helps you to automate a lot of things, especially when it comes to multiple servers, dealing with multiple servers, configuration of multiple servers, and it's really an interesting service, and I really enjoyed taking the time to study about this particular service and working around this particular service. Yeah, that's like one of the things I got to learn in the past one. I learned a couple of other things, but more or less this one stood out for me because I think I was having and yeah, I was having like I was not really comfortable. I was really having a hard time trying to configure a computer. I'm trying to configure like servers and all of that. But discovering this particular service helped me to be able to resolve that particular issue. And yeah, I'll really say kudos to AWS for that particular one. Yeah, thank you very much. So I would really love to like hear input from people on the call to get to know one of the exciting things they've gotten to learn in the past 1 month. Yeah, I'm looking into the chat. Oh, all right, that's a nice one from Moses Adekombi. So it says, he said he made use of AWS Elastic Beanstalk and the IAM for a particular project. And I am very sure that that was really a nice project. I mean, getting into making use of the AWS Beanstalk, which is more or less for a PaaS platform as a service option for AWS as well as the IAM for a particular project I worked on. I think that's really a cool one and a great one. Yeah, thank you very much, Moses, for sharing that. I'm still looking into the chat. We just have a few minutes, say 1 or 2 minutes to just take comments from people on the chat before we move to the next agenda for today. And once again, I'm using this opportunity to say thank you very much for taking out that time to join us in this particular event for today to get to share ideas and knowledge together. And yeah, let's see how the event unfolds. Thank you very much. So in the meantime, we're more or less waiting, using this opportunity to like wait for more couple of people more to join. So we could actually get properly into the event. So we'll just be taking the next 2-3 minutes to wait for a couple of more people to join, then we kick off properly. Oh, I'd love to put in a particular music to just give us that vibe, but I don't think I have one currently on my system. Um, well, I promise you next time I'll get one installed, and I'm very sure. I promise when I promise you music that I'm very sure that's the music that you pretty much enjoy. So yeah, next time. Okay. Yes. So let's just go in proper into today's event. Um, yeah. So more or less the agenda for today is more. I will just be running us through the agenda for today. I've taken the welcome and more or less like the catch up with the community on where we are, how far we've come, um, and yeah, the second item on the agenda will more or less be around the announcements, the recent things that have been happening in the community so far. So my colleague will be walking us through that. Um, then we'll move into the third item, which is more around the highlights for today, which is the topic for today in itself, which is more or less the advancing how do we advance our AWS cloud journey. Then afterwards, we move to the fourth item on the agenda, which is the project introduction, as well as probably answering any specific questions that may relate to that. Then our last but not the least would be the closing remarks from myself as well. Yeah, so that's more or less like an highlights. I don't want us to spend um, much time in this event for today. I want us to be as quick as possible as well as effective as possible. Yeah, so thank you very much. I will hand it over to Moses to walk us through the announcements from the community. Thank you very much. Moses, you have the floor.
Um, Good evening, everybody. Thank you all for joining us today. We really appreciate the fact that you could join us today. So, we'll be introducing today's program, which is uh, yeah.
Moses, if you are
Sorry,
speaking, we are not hearing you.
I think I'm having network issues. I'll be passing the mic to Adewale to continue. Thank you.
Okay, I'll just take the
Hello,
announcements. Yes, so
hello.
welcome once again, everyone. So as regards the announcement, so we've been having a couple of interesting activities in the community lately, and yeah, it's something that you will not want to miss for anything. I mean, there's been a lot going on in the community for the past few weeks, and yeah, I just want to more or less run you through a couple of the things that have been going on. So on Mondays, we have categorically what we call the fun facts. So we send that out on a Monday morning across Monday. So it's more or less fun facts around AWS cloud services. And it's been an interesting one so far. I mean, a lot of things that you don't get to see regularly out there, you get to like know from the fun facts. And yeah, I will more or less indulge you, use it to indulge you that you should really like watch out for the fun facts that are being posted in the community. I'm trying as much as possible to engage the fun facts post as well. Secondly, on Tuesdays, we get to post our blog. So now we have our blog chapter up and running. So on Tuesdays, a blog around particular AWS services or a particular AWS newsletter or documentations is being posted on Tuesdays. And so far, it's been an interesting one. It's been an interesting read myself. I mean, I'm more or less like exposed to more services that I'm originally used to, and it's really been an interesting one so far. So I will really want to indulge each and every one of us to take our time to check the blog and more or less read up on the blog articles that we have there. And this is more or less like a call out as well to every one of us in the community. For those people that are more or less technical writers or people that write blog as well. So this is more or less to tell us and encourage us that for any one of us that have like an article out there, could actually reach out to the leadership team for AWS Cloud Club, so they could actually feature our articles on the official page of the AWS Cloud Club blog. So yeah, it's something that you really need to watch around and yeah, look out for. It's really an exciting and interesting read. Thirdly, on Wednesdays, we do have what we call the trivia. So, and it's really been an exciting one, an interesting one. I think the last one that was done on Wednesday, this past Wednesday, I mean, was really engaging. A lot of interesting debates going on and there, and a lot of solutions that were provided for a particular problem. So the thing about trivia is basically a question is being put out there, and we get various people to provide solutions to or what they see feasible as a solution to that particular problem. So and that is actually done every Wednesday. So you need to watch out the space for the trivias, and as well, this is to encourage everyone of us to engage the trivia questions, to get to contribute as well, because that's how you get to learn. That's how you get to grow as an individual and as a collective community as well. So yeah, so on Mondays we have our fun fact. On Tuesdays we have our blogs that are going out. On Wednesdays we have our trivia questions, and we are looking into a couple of events that will be coming on, couple of things, activities that will be coming up for Thursdays as well as on Sundays. I think on Sunday, last Sunday, we had the quiz, and it was really interesting. A couple of people won amazing prizes, and yeah, we'll be having a couple of more quizzes as well as time goes by. So look out, watch out on this space, and yes, stay informed. I think to a large extent, I've covered the announcements for the weekly activities we've been having lately. So I'll move on to the next announcement, which is more around the web dev project. So we've been having an initiative currently to build a web site for AWS Cloud Club. We've had a lot of volunteers put in for this particular feat, and we'll be reaching out. So this is more or less to just tell the community that we'll be reaching out to them. So we'll be having a meeting. The time and date will be communicated to each of the volunteers via mail. So we'll be having a meeting where we get to thoroughly discuss the requirements to build the web page, the website for the AWS Cloud Club. So yeah, just be on your watch, be on a look for the mail that will be coming and the communication that will be coming in regards to this. Thirdly, I'll move to the next announcement, which is more around the hosting of a camp event. So there is, so lately we've not really had like a physical events. More or less, events have really been virtual so far. But exciting news is coming, and yeah, the exciting news basically is that we'll be having a camp event, although the time and date yet is not yet specified at the moment. So it's still something we are still deliberating on. But this is more or less like a tip of an iceberg information to every one of us that we'll be having a camp event, and the event is more or less going to be like an online and as well as a physical event where we come together, we meet ourselves. I mean, those people that have been banting you on the group, you get to meet them in person, you get to share knowledge, share ideas together, and get to interact as well. So, and we get to build cool stuff. And it's something that I'm really excited about and something that I want each and every one of us to look out to. So communications around this will be passed across as well to the community via mail as well as on the group chat as well. So get to watch this space and yeah, be excited. Mark your calendars and yeah, make sure that there is nothing set for that particular day because I promise it's gonna be an interesting one. Yeah, so I'll move to the last announcement that I have currently for now, and that would be around a particular activity we are looking at launching for the AWS Cloud Club. So we are looking at, I know that a lot of us are gurus. I mean, a lot of us have actually like undertaking various experience in terms of using AWS services. And I mean, due to that, we have become knowledgeable in a particular part of AWS cloud service. And in light of this, we are kind of looking at putting out a program, more or less like an activity, basically that enables people in the community to be able to reach out to the community members as well, and more or less pass those knowledge that they've learned as well, those experiences across to the community members. And so we named this particular initiative the knowledge sharing section. So it's something that we're looking to propose for every Thursdays. So it's more or less going to be a scenario whereby someone that's actually like worked on a particular AWS cloud service basically can fill in an application form, more or less to tell the committee members that they want to more or less share their experience, share their knowledge they've learned across a particular, in accordance with a particular service. So this is like a program we're looking out to launch, and applications and the necessary details will be passed across in the community. So it's an exciting one. I mean, we get to see people from the community as well to share their knowledge, share their ideas as regards things they've learned in AWS services. And I think when you get to see people, I mean, your friends, your colleagues learning stuff and doing things, I think to a large extent, it gets to bring that sort of encouragement to yourself. And I think it's a good one. And I feel every one of us will be able to benefit from this. So yeah, just watch out. Communications as regards this particular initiative will be passed across on the community group chat as well as via mail to each and every one of us. Yeah, so I think those are like the core announcements I'm having for now. And yeah, thank you very much for listening in. So we're moving to the next item on the agenda. Okay, yeah, so for the next item on the agenda, it's more or less revolving around the topic for today, and which is more or less the AWS Cloud, the AWS Cloud Launchpad 2, advancing your AWS Cloud journey. And I mean, I think we had the first section of this a few weeks ago, and we get to, I mean, more or less like a beginning section. I think the topic was starting your AWS Cloud journey. It was more or less reiterating on how we get started with AWS Cloud computing, the essentials, what cloud computing is, how do we get started, and all of that. So the topic today, more or less, is to continue on that particular note, and which is more or less advancing our AWS Cloud journey. So on this very note, I mean, I just more or less want to share with us few pointers or as regards advancing our AWS Cloud journey. I know a lot of us might be beginners, some of us might be intermediate, and some of us might be very, very advanced. So I know I'm talking to a multi-audience skill set of people. So I'll just more or less just make this broad. So light to the today's topic, which is more or less advancing our AWS cloud um, cloud journey. So one of the key things I really want to talk about, I think I'm talking about mentioning 4 things, 4 points. So the first one more or less is regarding joining a community. And I think to a large extent, a lot of us that are currently on the call on this live stream are either participating in one particular community or the other. And to a large extent, the joining of a community, the advantage to that it cannot be overemphasized. I mean, it helps one to be able to grow as a person, learn as well. I mean, from other people, and yeah, be able to achieve stuff. Because there are a couple of times when you have that zeal to learn stuff, but because of, I mean, you are doing that alone, you don't find that motivation to follow through with it. But you being in a community, you get to see people that motivates you to put on that work and yeah, achieve that particular goal that you've set for yourself. So one paramount thing for me that in terms of you advancing your AWS cloud communities, joining a community, and to a large extent, that I mean, AWS Cloud Club is actually a community for learning AWS cloud services. So this is more or less like to reach out to each and every one of us that are currently not in a community to be a part of this wonderful community, because there is so much to gain from joining the AWS cloud community in terms of learning from people that are way up there, in terms of working on amazing projects, in terms of building connections, and so much more. So it's there's no loss at all joining the community. So this is to employ each and every one of us to join and join a community basically. So I'll be moving quickly because I don't want us to waste time. I'll be moving quickly to the next point, which is more or less around getting involved in projects as well as getting involved in project basically. So when I say getting involved in projects, one way to actually advance your AWS cloud journey is hands-on, doing hands-on. I mean, getting involved in projects, contributing to stuff. So it's not, so there's an extent to which we get to join a community, and there is an extent that you get to work on project and how that actually reflects on you and help you to build and advance your AWS cloud journey basically. So to a large extent, it's imperative and it's really important, even as you join a community, to actually be hands-on as well, learn as well as practicalize what you've learned as well. So, and in our community, that's the AWS Cloud Club, we dish out, I mean, there's a lot of projects that are always going on from time to time. And we'll touch more on this later on in the course of this event today. But to a large extent, joining a community as well as working hands-on on a particular project helps you to advance your AWS cloud journey. Then on a third note, my third point would be around showing your work as well. So when you get to work on projects, there is an aspect of you showing your work. So as much as possible, when you get to work around projects, when you get to involve yourself in projects, no, don't just keep it to yourself. Try as much as possible to put your work out there. You see people that will give you feedback on what you've done. I mean, if it's something that is really cool, you see people give you positive feedback. If it's something that there are things you need to improve on, you see people will give you that comment and feedback, and from there you'll be able to work on these particular things, be able to improve on yourself as a professional, and advance your cloud AWS cloud journey basically. So first off, join a community. Secondly, involve yourself in projects. Thirdly, showcase your work as well. And last but not the least, what the last thing I'll be talking about as regards to this to would be to get certifications that aligns with your cloud specialization. And what do I mean by that? I know to a large extent, I think in the course of the last tenure, we got to get to a stage where people that were involved in a particular bootcamp got certifications and were able to like write exams and certification exams, and we're able to get certified based on that. So the same thing, and that's one of the benefits of you joining a community. So those are advantage, those benefits are things you enjoy where you get to join the community. And this is more or less in terms of you getting to advance your AWS cloud journey. You need to, as much as possible, work on your certifications to be that professional, to be that to be that specialist in that particular specialization that you've chosen. You need to get certifications as well. And yeah, that's one of the benefits of getting involved in communities as well. You get to see those offers, you get to see those benefits, you get to even though it might not be full, it might be partial, but at least you get to see chances and opportunities for you to be able to take certifications and become certified and be specialized in whatever specialization that we desire, basically. So to a large extent, I mean, these are like more or less these are more or less like an highlights of the key things that I mean one needs to take advantage of, and one needs to really like consider when you are looking towards advancing your cloud journey in AWS. So I'll more or less bring my talk on this to an halt. And if there are any questions, if there are any question around what I've actually discussed or shared with each and every one of us, we could just put that on the comment section. And yeah, thank you very much for listening in. We'll be moving quickly to the next item on the agenda. So which is more around the project's introduction. So thank you very much as you listen. Wale, you have the floor. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's event. I'm very glad all of you are here, and I appreciate you sacrificing your time and your efforts, your attention to be here to join us for today's event. I'm going to be talking about the projects, the next set of projects that we have to do for this phase of our cloud journey. So there are four tracks of projects as we had in the first set of projects that we did. There is the web track, there is the security track, there is the data track, and there is the AI and ML track. So after the first set of projects that every interested members have participated on, we have a second set of projects which will be building on what we have learned on our skills, our experience and expertise from the first set of projects. So we continue to actually increase in our knowledge and in our proficiency in whatever specialization we pick. So there will be four tracks as usual, and I am going to be talking about the data track. Other members of the community, we also talk about their respective tracks. So to talk about the data track, I am going to discuss the topic, what the track is about, and while interested members should try and execute the projects, because there is a lot of things to be learned. If you are interested in that track, there's a lot of things to be learned by doing the projects. There's a lot of exposure, expertise that we are going to gain and gather from doing the projects. The projects are actually very, very important for us to do. That's the essence, in fact, of being a community member, because it enables you to have, these are like your classes and your exams. It enables you to try to do things, practical things, hands-on, and we will always be there. The community will always be there, because all of the projects that we give out, we already have done them and accomplished them. So if you have any problems, any questions, if you're meet you with any obstacle while trying to do any of the projects, you can reach out to the community, and we will be very helpful and available to you at any time when you need the assistance. So for the data track, the project is how to visualize data in Amazon RDS for SQL Server. And to talk about what the acronyms there are, RDS is a relational database service that is by Amazon. So Amazon RDS is a relational database service for people who are a little bit conversant with data. We have relational database and we have non-relational database. Okay, so on AWS, the relational database, the most prominent one is Amazon RDS, and it has a lot of capabilities. You're going to learn more and more about what Amazon RDS is by executing this project. And SQL is of course, the query language that a lot of people are conversant with. So, how do we visualize our data in Amazon RDS for SQL Server? And of course, this isn't just about working with SQL, but SQL servers, which is something that you run on your local system, but you see results of whatever data you have on your local system being executed on the cloud. So you are actually doing some form of hybrid computing here. You're not just working on the cloud alone, you're working on your own local system. So you're working on your system and you're seeing the results of whatever work you're doing on the cloud. And this is a service, this is a functionality that's very, very important for people that are into um, data. So it's something that is used for business intelligence or machine learning applications. So if you are interested in data and you want to do this project, you can actually and if you for adventure, if by some so by circumstance you didn't do the first project, you can still attempt to do this particular one because you have a lot to learn and it's just a little bit different from the first project. So you have a lot of things to learn by doing this, and there won't be a lot of both blogs or obstacles for you if you're trying to do it because we have the community here ready to assist whenever you have any issues with it. I'll stop here and let the next person, which is Moses, who will be talking on the web track. I'll let him take over. So Moses, you have the floor. Thank you very much for listening. Thanks.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. I apologize earlier, I had a little power issue. So, thank you all for staying till this time. So, I'll be introducing the second project, which is basically building a web application on AWS. It's basic and simple web application on AWS. So this project is designed to give us hands-on experience with various AWS services by guiding us through the process of creating basic web applications. By the end of this project, you have a fully functioning static website hosted on AWS. You also gain valuable skills that you could apply for future projects. This project is very user friendly. It's quite an interesting one. So what we'll be doing is creating a web app using HTML, the normal Hello World code, and AWS Amplify. Then afterwards, we'll be connecting the web app we created to a serverless backend, which is by building serverless functions using AWS Lambda. And afterwards, we'll be linking this serverless function that we created with API gateway, which is basically deploying serverless functions. Then after that, we'll be creating data table to store and retrieve web applications. The web app you created, rather, you'll be creating a data table to store and retrieve them using Amazon Dynamo DB table. Then after that, you add interactivity to your web app with the API and database created to make it look nicer. That's basically it. Then you submit your tags. A submission link will be provided, and you shouldn't forget to clean up every resources used to avoid incurring unnecessary charges. Um, the service we'll be using for this particular project, AWS Amplify, Amazon API Gateway. We'll be using AWS Lambda. We'll be using Amazon Dynamo DB and the IAM services. So this project basically give us opportunity to enhance our skill, especially for people that are interested in building web applications, because AWS is there to like ease the stress of having to build or host applications since it's serverless, something AWS has total control of. So I encourage everyone to do this to participate. It's also we should also feel free to collaborate with fellow members to create something amazing together. If you have any questions for about this project or concerning this project, you can reach out to me. Thank you all for listening. I'll be passing the mic to Emmanuel to introduce the next project. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Moses. Thank you, Wale, for introduction of the various projects for those various tracks. Yes, I'll be quickly going to introducing the next project, which is more or less for the ML and the AI track. So the title of the topic of the project basically is generating machine learning predictions without writing codes. And I mean, to a large extent, when you get to listen or hear about this particular title, but like, how can I do this? It's actually really possible for you to generate machine learning predictions without writing code. And yeah, we're looking at this is more or less like a deep dive, making use of a particular tool on AWS, and you're able to like achieve that particular soul in of generating learning predictions, machine learning predictions without writing code. So in this project, basically, you get to learn to use the Amazon SageMaker canvas to build machine learning models and generate accurate predictions without writing a single line of code, just as I mentioned earlier on. And Amazon SageMaker canvas is a visual point and click interface that expands the use of the ML to even business analysts, helping them to make business decisions even without any ML experience. With SageMaker Canvas, one can actually build ML models and generate predictions on their own. And you can actually, one of the exciting thing about the SageMaker Canvas is that you can actually import data from various sources. So it's not really streamlined to a particular source of data. So you could import from S3, from various sources of data, and you get that imported to the Canva, and from there you get to build your ML model as well as make meaningful prediction. Especially the predictions are actually very, very accurate. And this project will walk us through how to get all of that done. So what do you get to accomplish from this particular project? You get to know how to import data sets. You get to inspect data sets visually. You get to build ML models. And you get to understand model features and their various metrics. And yeah, you get to generate bulk and single prediction. I must tell you, this is a really exciting project because it was one I did myself. And I mean, from working through the project, I was really, I became to get clearer understanding of particular things as regards AI and ML. So I really implore everyone that is actually really in the ML and AI track to really take participate in this particular project and make sure that you work you participate in this project in itself. I mean, I promise you that it's really an exciting one, and it's one that you really be glad that you participated in. Yeah. So quickly, I'll be moving on to the next track, which is the security slash the DevOps track now. So because a lot of us in the community group has actually really been talking about wanting to learn about DevOps as well and get concept on DevOps. So we are more or less making that accommodation in the security track. So the security track now is being like a measure of the security track as well as the DevOps. And for this particular project phase, we'll be working on around a project on the automation of deployments, basically. So the title of this project for this particular track is I'm setting up a continuous deployment pipeline, making use of AWS code pipeline. And it's really, really interesting because it's something that I've worked with as well. And you get to learn about, in this tutorial, basically, you get to learn about creating automated software release pipeline that deploys a live sample application. And you get to make use of the AWS code pipeline to achieve this. And this code pipeline is more or less like a service that helps you to build tests as well as deploy your code every time there is a code change. Anytime there's a code change, basically helps you to build, test, and deploy your code to the environment. And yeah, so there are a couple of tools that we're making use of for this, but the outstanding one here is making use of the AWS code pipeline, which helps us to achieve the automations of taking the code that is being merged into a particular repo and taking that and building that particular code testing it and deploying it to the environment. And you get to see all of this. This happens in few minutes, you get to see all of this happens, and you get to see the live application on the browser when you get to put in the URL. And it's really an exciting one because that's one of the core concepts surrounding DevOps in itself. So it's something that it's a project that I really want to encourage everyone in the security as well as the DevOps track to take a look at and participate actively. What you get to accomplish in this particular project, you get to create automated software release pipeline that deploys a live sample application. You get to create pipeline making use of the AWS code pipeline, as well as making use of the AWS Elastic Beanstalk as the deployment target for the application. So I would like to indulge each and every one of us to look into these various projects based on our interests, get involved with them, participate actively in these respective projects. And I'm very sure that you get to enjoy and you get to learn a ton from participating in this project. Thank you very much. I think that's more or less around the project introduction. I don't know if there are questions around any of the projects or if there are any clarifications that we want to get as regards any of those projects. We could just put our questions in the chat so we could get to answer these questions. So let's do that within the next 1 to 2 minutes. If there are any questions or clarifications you might want to get as regards any of the projects, please let's put that in the comments section and we get to take that up from there.
So thank you very much, Emmanuel. While we wait for questions from the comment section, about the announcement, I would like to encourage every one of us to try as much as possible to participate in our weekly activities, because it's an opportunity to get to know each other better. It's an opportunity to learn and to grow together. So we have our social media accounts active. We would encourage everyone to join, to participate, to like, to repost, to comment on these things that we post every week. So we are looking forward to your participation. While regarding our project, which is building our own website, so I'd like to say that if you are interested in contributing your skills and being part of this project, because it's going to be a live project, and it's an opportunity for people that are looking for maybe to build your portfolio or something, whether as a designer, a web developer, a project manager too, you could also apply. And we'll be sending some application forms on our WhatsApp platform for us to for you to look into them. Like anyone that catches your fancy, anyone you're interested in, you could apply, because we'll be building our website very soon. Yeah, and regarding the infrastructure camp, I'd like to say that if you have any suggestions or ideas for the camp, I would like to urge us to feel free to reach out to us. If there's anything you like to add, I don't know if you are even willing to maybe be a speaker, or like try to share your cloud journey physically in our physical event, which is coming up soon. We encourage you or to reach out to us as regards that. Thank you. Emmanuel, you can have the floor now.
All right, thank you very much for those insightful pointers, Moses. Really appreciate that. Yes, so I don't think there are any questions. Most of what we said are really clear because I'm not seeing any questions on the chat. Yes, so thank you very much once again, everyone. Thank you for coming around. Thank you for participating in the event for today. It's really lovely to get to engage with you, to share ideas, share knowledge as well with each and every members of the community. So thank you once again for participating in the event for today. So we'll be more or less circling like the feedback form on the group. So as much as possible for people that are not in the community that would like to join, in the description for this particular live stream, we'll put the link to the community group chats, so you could actually join from there as well and become a member of the AWS Cloud Club Unilag. And I promise you, it's an exciting community to join. You get to learn a lot, you get to socialize with a lot of people, you get to meet new people, and you get to advance your cloud journey in AWS. So it's really an exciting one. I thank you very much for everyone participating in the event for today. We'll get to continue our conversations on in the community group chat as well as via mail. So thank you very much once again. Have a lovely evening and have a lovely weekend. Thank you. Bye for now.
Thank you all. Bye.